There's a mental, mentality involved, and hey, we're above $100 a barrel. That's going to have an impact. People are going to look at inflation. One thing that's been really interesting is that OPEC plus, Russia and Saudi Arabia, they've held strong with their production cut. They've been cutting production for the last few months by 1 million barrels a day. They're going to continue that through the end of the year. But at the same time, U.S. shale drillers haven't really been coming back. They haven't been bringing the rigs back on shale fields to boost production as much as you would have expected. Once we hit that $100 level, expect more governments calling it out. Expect perhaps the Biden administration calling for drillers to come back, maybe calling for Saudi Arabia to provide some relief to the market, which they did last year. You should also look at demand. How is this going to affect consumption of gasoline, a product of crude oil? There is this idea that the economies in the U.S. and China are resilient and the demand has been steady. But once you hit $100 and once we've seen gasoline prices at the highest level in over a year, it could affect people and how they travel and how they consume fuel. Those are two things to watch, of course. And as well, look at inflation. If inflation also starts to get pretty wild, you might see some governments come and step in, perhaps in India, to essentially subsidize oil by providing subsidies for consumers. And that might also help stabilize demand even as prices rise. So all that together does show that $100 oil will mean something for producers as well as consumers.